5 on your side at 10 starts now.
We're going from warm weather to cold weather, and in order to get there, something's going to have to give. I'm tracking rain showers with the 7-day forecast.
They help us in our time of need.
They're sacrificing not being with their families.
Now Wentzville neighbors spreading Christmas cheer to our first responders and others during this season of giving. The business known as the House of Soul becomes a house of hope this holiday.
Anybody that's in need of a warm meal, want to hang out, want to play a few games, don't want to be by themselves.
The yearly tradition to fight hunger in downtown St. Louis. But first, from the ruins of the May 16th tornado to the spirit of the season.
I've been outside collecting, giving, feeding since the day of the tornado.
One survivor putting her losses aside to make the holiday brighter for our community. Thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Brent Solomon. 7 months after that devastating tornado tore through St. Louis, many survivors are still working to rebuild what they lost. For one of them, though, this holiday is about making sure her neighbors don't lose hope. 5 on your side, Laura Bercheski takes us back to the disaster zone for an amazing display of holiday light.
More than 7 months after an EF3 tornado tore through St. Louis, people are still struggling to get by. Clara Holmes' childhood home was ripped open by the storm.
So my family members still not doing too good. They're still staying in the house. In the past days, it's been extremely cold. I had some concerns about my nephew. Due to the legacy of my father passing away 2 years ago, that my nephew don't want to leave their home due to the fact that possibly break in.
Holmes says they never received any money from FEMA and the repairs would cost tens of thousands of dollars, making celebrating the holidays difficult.
Christmas not the same this year.
And while Christmas may not look the same this year, she wanted to bring a little joy back to the community.
Even more than I usually do.
Giving out more than $1,000 worth of clothes, food, and other items from the corner of Grand and Page.
I got a lot of Pampers. I got about 300 canned goods. I got about 100 toothbrushes. I got a lot of clothes. I got shoes, still collecting. I got a few toys.
Lorenzo Clyde says he was waiting at the bus stop when he saw Holmes setting up her tables. It's been hard to watch his neighbors struggling.
I feel for seeing these people I gotta walk past, sleeping out here in tents. You know, I want to be able to, where they can go in somewhere and live comfortable.
Holmes says it fills her heart with love to be able to help her community.
Because I'm a loving, caring person. That's why they call me Clara's Caring Hearts. I have a heart to go, a heart to be able to collect stuff to give to people.
And Clyde says it was a gift just to witness such generosity.
As long as my needy people got some clothes and something to put in their stomach today, I'm more than happy for that on Christmas Day.
Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
And Holmes says her focus right now is collecting coats through her Facebook page to give to those who need them. We have a link for you on KSDK.com. A picture-perfect Christmas outdoors, but don't get too comfortable. Meteorologist Tracy Henson explains this holiday warm-up is on borrowed time, Tracy.
Yeah, it really is. We are going to see a cool down in the forecast. We're talking back to the 20s and 30s again, especially our overnight temperatures. Today was a warm one out there. It probably felt a little warmer than it actually was. It was 65 degrees outside. Our low was 53. We were a bit far from the record. The record was 71, set back in the 1800s. But we have had some warm Christmas days in the past, close to that 71 degree mark before, as well as a 73 back on Christmas Eve in, I believe, 2019. Was when we had that. All right, for tomorrow, we're going to have temperatures warm up into the upper 60s, so yet another warm day for us again. Good mix of sun and clouds outside, so lots of people doing outdoor activities. Should be pretty nice. We're going to drop down into the upper 50s by 5 o'clock. Then, as we look at our weather impact 7-day forecast here, things are going to change quite a bit here. Sunday, we're going to have temperatures in the low 70s. It's going to drop down then into the low 30s by Monday. That'll be a shock to the system.
Well, from first responders to veterans, volunteers in Wentzville spent Christmas delivering hot meals to those who serve us. As Melanie Johnson shows us, the gift of company is just as vital as the food on the plate.
We have turkey, we have ham, we have sweet potatoes, we have macaroni and cheese, and we have green beans.
Food coming from the heart for those in need of community on Christmas Day. Veterans, seniors, and the ones called to protect and serve.
Not everybody can afford to go have a Christmas dinner.
Quentin Bodie and his wife cherishing the gift of life this holiday as they enjoy a meal together cooked by Wentzville Outreach Lions Club.
I've done died a couple times and my defibrillator brought me back to life, you know. So I am gifted. Been through a lot of hard wrecks and stuff like that, and good Lord brought me through them, you know.
So we want to make sure that we can serve these people because we're hurting. They feel bad. You know, it's the holiday for some of us, and some of us are excited about the holiday, but then we leave them out, and that's not right. You know, they deserve to have a good hot meal and company as well.
Boxes of food making their way to first responders, not taking a day off to keep us safe.
They're sacrificing not being with their families, watching the kids open up presents on a Christmas morning.
Volunteers have been at it for hours to make sure that those without a meal and first responders have something to eat this Christmas. Organizers tell me over 300 people will have a meal to eat because of these deliveries.
I cut up about 15 turkeys and 8 or 9 hams, and we're still cutting them more, you know, trying to get enough out there to serve everybody. It's
been Wentzville's Mayor Nick Caccioni's Christmas morning tradition for over a decade. An act of kindness.
Reach out to family, friends, neighbors, people that are alone, you know, and let them know that you care.
Going a long way for folks like Quentin.
Merry Christmas.
Leaving with more than a meal, he's leaving as family.
Don't just sit alone, you know. Try to make a friend somewhere, you know. And there's plenty of them out there.
In Wentzville, Melanie Johnson, 5 on your side.
And Lions Clubs International is the world's largest service organization with more than 1 million members. Just hours ago, a St. Louis restaurant opening its doors to feed the city. Mother's Fish and Sports Bar offering free food to anyone who stopped by the business there on North Grand. For at least 5 hours, the restaurant fed hundreds of people today. They say it's been a hard year for the city, and this is just one way to give back since so many people support the restaurant. Today, Pride St. Louis held its annual Feeding the Community event. This happened at the St. Mark Lutheran Church on Clayton Road. Anyone who showed up got a free meal, which included ham, mashed potatoes, dressing, and all that you see there. Organizers say this is important to make sure that no one spends the holidays alone.
This is for people who have been ostracized to their families for coming out, for being either queer or trans. It's just people come and be in community. Even if you don't want to eat, just come and hang out with us and be, I call it to exhale and just get away from all the noise that's out there in the world right now and just come and relax and have a good time and be yourself.
And that was the 19th year of the Pride STL annual Christmas dinner. The doors were wide open today at a downtown St. Louis business who also wanted to be a blessing to others. The House of Soul on Washington Avenue holding its 7th annual Soulful Christmas event today, turning the nightlife establishment into a holiday sanctuary for 200 neighbors in need. From college students with nowhere to go to families looking for a hot meal, anyone could show up for dinner, dessert, clothes, even free haircuts.
I'm located on Washington in an area in the community where I'm reminded every day of where I come from. I want more people to do what we do, not just on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day, but just to understand that some people's walks of life and journeys are different than many, and I think sometimes that's what it's all about. You know, it's about giving back.
And that owner there says her own childhood, spent unhoused at times, is what fuels her mission to never forget about others. President Trump orders deadly Christmas Day strikes in Nigeria. Why he says the attack is tied to protecting Christians overseas. A shooting at a St. Louis gas station, rushing a man to the hospital. What police are saying about the Christmas Day crime. Plus, when tragedy struck a farmer's family in Clinton County, neighbors dropped everything and stepped up.
I guess that's rural America for you. Most people, look out for the neighbor next door.
It's looking like good napping weather on Sunday. I'm tracking the rain in our forecast.
Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a fire at a decades-old donut shop. Just a couple of hours ago, our photojournalist capturing these images from Tony's Donuts. The fire happened at the Hazelwood location here on Howdershell Road. Officials say the fire started in the kitchen. Firefighters were able to put it out shortly after they got there. No word of any injuries. Right now, St. Louis police are investigating a shooting at a gas station that happened around 2 this afternoon. It happened on South Kings Highway. Police found a man shot there. He was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. No word just yet on his condition or suspects. Tonight, President Donald Trump says the U.S. military has carried out a deadly strike in northwest Nigeria on Christmas Day. It's not clear how many people were killed. On Truth Social, the president said he ordered that strike to target Islamic State terrorists. The president accused ISIS of killing innocent Christians in the country. The strike comes as the White House focuses on the ongoing plight of Christians in Nigeria.
Inglese. Merry Christmas. May the peace of Christ reign in your hearts and in your families.
Today, Pope Leo presided over his first Christmas Day Mass since his election as pontiff. It started with a ceremony inside of St. Peter's Basilica. The Pope then delivered his holiday message to thousands of people inside St. Peter's Square. During his speech, Pope Leo called for peace and an end to all global wars. As we continue to recap some of this year's most memorable stories, here's Mike Bush with a highlight from his Making a Difference report.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
In farm country, the distance between neighbors is measured in acres, but in times of need, it's measured in minutes. In tonight's Making a Difference report, we take you to Clinton County, Illinois, where neighbors become family. In Carlisle, Illinois, the strongest roots aren't found in the soil. No one knew that better than Kevin Campworth, who spent his days working at the local oil company, while his heart worked the land.
He definitely loved farming. That's what he grew up with, but it also is part of him.
For 43 years, he balanced both lives. Then fate handed him a gift when his daughter Whitney married John, a farmer's son himself. Together, they worked these fields of corn, soybeans, and wheat, developing their own special language.
He would give me hand signals in the field if we would pass, trying to tell me what to do. A lot of times I didn't really understand it, but it's just a little joke we had.
If you had to describe your dad and the type of person he was, how would you do that?
Very hardworking, kind, and generous. I'm sorry.
This past autumn, the unthinkable happened. Whitney got the call no family ever wants to receive.
My dad was farming, harvesting a field, and was in an accident.
As the family wrestled with their devastating loss, 140 acres of soybeans stood silent in the fields. But before darkness could settle, the phone started ringing.
The first thing that came to my mind is, we need to go check out the family, make sure everybody's okay, and then, let's try to help get his crops out.
What happened next left even lifetime farmers speechless. The morning sky filled with the rumble of engines as 15 neighbor farmers left their own harvest behind and pointed their machines toward the Campworth fields.
There was 5 combines pulled in, and we had 4 semis hauling grain and 2 grain carts to help handle the grain during harvest.
A task that would have taken Kevin and John weeks to complete was done in just hours.
I guess that's rural America for you. Most people, look out for the neighbor next door.
You can have differences, at a bar or something talking around, but, when some tragedy happens, put on the wayside.
And the tribute wasn't finished. At Kevin's funeral, a line of antique tractors, the kind he loved to restore, stood guard outside the church. And with each passing day, Lou Alice discovers new chapters of her husband's quiet generosity, written in the memories of neighbors.
It just reassures me that we chose the exact place we should live, that Clinton County is very neighborly but loving and are willing to just go the extra mile just like my husband was.
That's this kind of guy he was. He dropped what he was doing.
In the equipment shed where Kevin spent his happiest hours, friends now gather to share stories.
He would offer help all day, bring fuel out.
Kevin approached this man who was homeless and said, obviously you're hungry. He said, come with me.
Each one a reminder of why they dropped everything to help.
Kevin was the fella that did that for a lot of people that was never noticed. You know, he did a lot of...
And didn't want to be noticed.
Didn't want to be noticed.
They say you can tell a lot about a farmer by looking at his fields. But in Clinton County, Illinois, they know a farmer's true worth grows not in his crops, but in the neighbors who harvest his legacy.
The generosity was overwhelming.
And those tractors at Kevin's funeral weren't just any tractors. They were the same ones he'd spend weekends restoring, which was his passion. And a reminder, if you know an inspiring person or someone making a difference, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com.
And we have an entire special showing some of the best making a difference stories from the year. And trust me, you'd want to see them. It's streaming right now on the free 5+ app. Download it now by searching KSDK in your app store.
And have a box of tissues, man, because a lot of those will make you cry.
Well, have a box of tissues and just be mesmerized. I mean, Mike Bush is one of the best in the business, Tracy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, I was over at the desk sitting next to you, Brent, because that's just how we do things on weekend mornings, and I'm not used to working at 10 o'clock
It's
at
all
night.
right. It's Christmas Day.
It is Christmas, and this is the view from Worldwide Technology Raceway. They've got all their lights going right now. It is a fun view. Someday I will make it out there to actually drive past it. Current temperatures, it looks like a daytime high, but it isn't. This is getting pretty close to our overnight low temperature here. 61 for Forest Park, 62 for my friends in Creve Coeur, 62 in Afton, and 60 in Millstadt. This does come at a bit of a cost, and you might hear it in some of our voices. Our mold count has jumped back up from almost non-existent when it was incredibly cold back to moderate here. Grasses and weeds are both low as well, trying to kind of get a little growth going. They're not going to, though, just because we are going to cool down. That cool down, though, won't come until Sunday. Alrighty, through the rest of the day tomorrow, we're looking at a good mix of sun and clouds with temperatures in the upper 60s here for us before eventually dropping down into the low 50s by about 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay, we have weather that's going to come in and change, and we know that when the weather does change like this, something has to give. This time it'll be not as much wind, but a good amount of rain in there as well. Temperatures are going to fall throughout the entire day, so let's go ahead and track this out for us as we get into Sunday. So I've got this started at about lunchtime on Saturday, dry. Then we're going to start to see a few showers come in. That's going to pale in comparison to what we have in store for us on Sunday, with just kind of some showers that are going to be intermittent throughout the entire day, off and on, filling in a little bit by the afternoon, that more defined front coming through by about 5 o'clock before eventually moving off and away, and then we'll have a dry Monday. So Sunday I'm going to deem as great napping weather, a good day to recover from all of your holiday festivities. We're going to be in the low 70s for tomorrow, upper 60s for Saturday, 71 as temperatures fall on Sunday. Now those temperatures will fall through the day, so you know it's one of those weird days where we'll see our temperatures start off warm and then end on the cooler side, and then it's going to get much cooler here on Monday. A real shock to the system as we drop down into the low 30s.
Yeah, Monday is a reminder that we're in the Midwest here after all.
Right, exactly.
I love it, my friend. Thank you much. Well, Frank Cusimano is standing by. What do you have, my friend?
Well, we have the Chiefs and Broncos tonight, Brent. A 7'6" basketball player drilling threes, and we will have our list of the 10 most intriguing sports figures of 2025. Stick around, please.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel is now available in Missouri.
There is not a person on the planet Earth who at the beginning of this NFL season thought that this Christmas game between the Chiefs and Broncos would mean nothing to Kansas City. Well, it doesn't. The Chiefs were eliminated 11 days ago. Patrick Mahomes and his backup Gardner Minshew out for the season with injuries and watching. So the defense has got to be big. And watch the pride of Mizzou, Nick Bolton, make a spectacular play on that interception. Taylor Swift was fashionably late, but she did make an appearance. The third-string quarterback, Chris Oladokun, threw this touchdown pass to Rashard Smith, and the Chiefs were up 7-3. 1:45 to play. Bo Nix will hit R.J. Harvey for the game-winning touchdown. The Broncos win it 20-13 in what could be Travis Kelce's final game at Arrowhead Stadium. The Vikings hosted the Lions. Detroit has to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive. Jordan Addison of the Vikings did not care because this is a 65-yard score. He barely gets over the pylon. The Vikings beat the Lions 23-10. A Super Bowl favorite at the beginning of the season, the Lions, like the Chiefs, will not make the postseason. Take a look at one of the most fascinating basketball talents in the world, 7'6", Victor Wembanyama, Spurs at Oklahoma City. And what makes Wemby unique? Well, how about this? He can drill 26-footers at that size. And even when he drops the ball, he can pick it back up and lay it in. He had 19 points. San Antonio got a great performance out of De'Aaron Fox. He had 29, and for the third time in 2 weeks, San Antonio beats the world champs 117-102. So for the last 3 decades on Christmas Day, we've come out with our list of the 10 most intriguing sports figures of the year. Not necessarily the best, but the most intriguing. So with the help of editor Bill Bennett, here's our list for 2025. Number 10, Mason Wynn. In an uneventful season for the Cardinals, he put on a fabulous fielding clinic. Imagine he had 501 chances to field the ball, and he only made 3 errors. There's only one Ozzie, but Mason was magnificent. Number 9, Jordan Goodwin. How about the pride of Althoff? Not drafted, released by some teams, and now a solid rotation player with the Suns in the middle of what should be a long NBA career. Number 8, Nafisa Collier. The pride of Incarnate Word would have won the Most Valuable Player award in the WNBA if she didn't get injured. Nonetheless, she's one of the 5 best female players in the world. Number 7, Kevin Kalish. A pretty good story when a guy who played on the last Billiken Final Four team coaches them to one this year. A relentless recruiter and an analytical mind. That's a pretty lethal mix. What a soccer coach. Number 6, Jim Montgomery. Okay, the end of this year hasn't gone as planned, but don't forget he changed the fate of the franchise when he arrived last year. His positivity with players is unparalleled. He's an intriguing sports figure. Number 5, the best fans in baseball. Cardinal fans did the right thing and sent the message to the organization. Don't take us for granted. We want winning. Who would have ever thought the St. Louis Cardinals would finish the season 19th in total attendance? Number 4, Eli Drinkwitz. You may not be a fan, but he's never dull and wins a lot. In fact, he's won more games than any Mizzou coach to begin a career. He's killed it in the portal, but needs to beat some ranked teams once in a while. Number 3, Ahmad Hardy. Speaking of killing it in the portal, this Mizzou running back merely finished second in the country in rushing and made every All-American team there was. And he's as humble as he is talented. Number 2, Jeremiah Love. The pride of CBC did not get to participate in the college football playoff, but he did become an All-American and led the country in yards per carry. Love is also going to be the first running back picked in the NFL draft. What a career for this young man. Number 1, Kelly Chase. The Blues enforcer is the most courageous person I've ever known. He beat cancer once, and it came back, and he will beat it again. But in the process, Kelly Chase is inspiring every person he encounters. He is our most intriguing sports figure of 2025. and everybody in St. Louis is pulling for Kelly Chase.
He's a fighter indeed. Frank, thank you much. Still ahead, we're just hours away from day one of Kwanzaa, the meaning behind the week-long celebration. Well, Kwanzaa starts in just a few hours. The holiday is known for helping Black Americans reconnect with their ancestral roots, and many of them celebrate. It's called Kwanzaa, and that name is derived from a Swahili phrase, which means first fruits. Now, each day of Kwanzaa, participants light a new candle on a 7-branch candelabra.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
Tongue twister there. Now, guess
It
what?
really is a tongue twister.
That's actually based on one of 7 different principles. It's really neat here. Each one has a different meaning. Day 1 starts with unity, and that holiday goes until January 1st.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's all of our time at 10, my friends. We hope you have a very merry rest of your Christmas day.